Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Fiscal Court meeting as scheduled. And are we fully informed with the media and all the protocols in place?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to do something unusual here this morning. Our world has been in an amazing, chaotic state, and I'm reminded of 9/11, of the October 7th circumstance that tragically took place in the Middle East, and cautiously, absolutely thrilled with the events that took place yesterday with the hostages being returned and such a strong move toward peace. And I'd just like everybody to take just a few moments of silence, please. Thank you. All right, let's see, Katrina. Prayer first.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is it?
It says on here.
Magistrate, if you'll open us in prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful day, and thank you for the people that are here that are interested in our community. Help us to be the leaders that our community needs. Thank you for the peace that is in the Middle East, and help it to continue. And let our national, local, state, all our leaders lead us in the right direction. These things we ask in thy Son's name. Amen.
Amen. And this morning we have Annie Cockerham O'Donnell, and would you please stand and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And gentlemen, would you introduce yourself, sir?
Yes, my name is Derek.
And our interpreter?
Yes, hello, my name is Cindy Harris.
Thank you. And shall we?
Marriage certificate.
If you'll stay with me one moment here.
Tom, now would be a good time. We also have our vice principal of KSD here as well.
Oh my, yes, please. Can you come up for a picture?
Is that right now? Annie, yes.
It's about And would you join us, all of you? Let's see, we'll face this direction, and you're in here too.
Let's do a long one. All right, you ready? Great.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to talk to you about if you're back in school, you go.
Okay, I'm their driver. Welcome, driver.
Thank you very much.
But you can certainly push out. Minutes.
All right, we have two sets of minutes. Is everyone okay handling them jointly? Any objection?
Say that again, Tom, I'm sorry.
Is everyone okay handling both sets of minutes jointly?
Make a motion, we approve both sets.
I've heard a motion
Second.
from Magistrate Jamie Gay and a second from Magistrate Paul Bodner. Any discussion? Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you.
Budget transfers.
All right, budget discussion, please. Shannon?
I have budget transfers of $9,810.84.
Make a motion, we approve the budget transfers as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Any comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Shannon.
Cash transfers.
Cash
Cash
transfers
transfers?
from Shannon.
I have a cash transfer from the interest-bearing account to the general fund of $1,250,000. A cash transfer from general fund to the jail for $275,000. Cash transfer from general fund to EMS for $275,000. And then I also have a cash transfer from the opioid account to the EMS fund for the social worker's salary. It's $19,271.32 quarterly.
The judge briefed me before the meeting yesterday, and she said that she'd indicate anything that was unusual, and I've not heard anything about that. Any comments or questions?
I'll second.
I'd make a motion.
I'll second his motion, but after doing that, I would like to ask the question about how much is left in the interest-bearing account. Do you have that?
All right, let me get the motion and second accepted. Motion by Magistrate Sleeper and second by Magistrate Gay. Proceed, sir.
There is $6,565,000 in the interest-bearing account. We have just over $5 million between the two CDs.
Mr.
Thank
Vogt, you kind of raised your hand there. Do you have a
I was
question?
gonna second it, they'd already,
Okay.
I'm good now.
Any questions? Any comments, discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Like sign? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, bills.
All right, bills, the stairs, Elena,
Good
thank you.
morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody?
Looks like a Boy Scout paper drive.
There's a lot, but that's what happens when you have 3 weeks between court meetings. All right, so today's bill packet, you all will see the full 18 pages totals $950,035.35. We're going to add on the Bacon Farmer Workman Engineering and Testing Incorporation. That's Codell.
Okay.
That's working on our Boyle County Emergency Services. That invoice total is $3,000. So after we add that onto our bill packet, I need a motion to approve $953,035.35.
Do I hear a motion for
I'll make a
approval?
motion, we approve and pay the bills.
Thank you, Magistrate Bodner. And second?
Second?
Second by Magistrate Gay. Any questions, discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Signify by likewise. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Now what do we need? Next, I'm very pleased that a friend is here for a vote on becoming part of our Ethics Commission. Mimi, would you come forward? And Mimi White is, again, a good friend and neighbor in my district. Do I hear a motion to accept Mimi as a member of our Ethics
So
Commission?
moved.
Motion by Magistrate Gay,
Representing Payroll.
second by Magistrate Paula.
Tom, she's the Payroll representative.
Yes, that's right, okay, yeah. This little blue area.
Yes.
Jason. Mimi, in a moment, we'll call for the question. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm so pleased that you're going to be with us.
Thank you.
Motion carries. And do you have any comment?
Nope, just glad to be here.
Eager to get
started tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Got to sign this. and
Okay.
If you'll stay with us for a moment.
Sure.
You can tell I don't do this very often. The judge is at a conference out of state today. I hadn't mentioned that. Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, I'll let you hold it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we take our ethics commission very seriously. So thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to
Glad to
meet
be a part of it.
Let's see.
Homemaker. Extension office, homemaker. That's just.
Here we meet. You're stuck. All right. I'm delighted that we have our homemakers here for the Extension 2025 Homemakers Week. And with your indulgence, I'll read the proclamation. Whereas the Kentucky Extension Homemakers Association Incorporated has over 11,000 members in more than 700 clubs throughout the Commonwealth. And whereas this organization is dedicated to improving the quality of life for families and communities through education, leadership development, and volunteer service. And whereas the organization has worked to achieve this mission for over 90 years, providing service in communities across Kentucky. And whereas the organization continues to endeavor to strengthen, develop, coordinate, and extend adult education in family and consumer sciences in cooperation with the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And whereas the members of the Boyle County Extension Homemakers Association completed more than 8,000 hours of volunteer service in 2024 through 2025, outreach efforts this year included but were not limited to collecting and distributing donations for local charities, sewing and crafting projects for the hospital, and more. Now, therefore, I, Tom V. Ellis, Boyle County Judge Executive Pro Tem, and the Boyle County Fiscal Court, do hereby proclaim October 12th through the 18th, 2025, as Kentucky Extension Homemakers Week, and urge all citizens to participate in Extension Homemakers activities in their communities. Done at the Boyle County Fiscal Court meeting in the city of Danville this 14th day of October in the year of our Lord 2025. And ladies from Homemakers, if you'd come and identify yourselves. Oh my.
Thank them all of us. That's good. That's great.
Delighted that you've all you sign? I guess there's no. All right. Teresa?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ladies?
All right. Let's see if I can get it.
Today, both days, we meet
All right.
Thank you. And congratulations. Well, thank you all for all that you do. I know I hear it from Teresa at church. Oh, did we miss one?
Well, I think, just do one more on this. Here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
We
And you're
appreciate it.
welcome to stay.
We didn't vote. If you want to go ahead and vote.
Oh my, we didn't vote. I'll call the question. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Oh,
We don't have a first and a second.
oh my.
I'll make a second.
All right, Magistrate Sleeper makes the motion and second by Magistrate Bodner. Any comments, questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Likewise. Thank you. Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for keeping me on. This next item on the agenda, I'm sure is a tough one for everybody here in the audience, and all of us as magistrates and staff. I just can't say enough about the importance of breast cancer prevention. There can't be a family in here that hasn't been touched in some way or another, family, friend, church members, or whatever. And God bless us all for the few who we've lost and the many in my 26 years of healthcare administration. through amazing God-filled innovations and treatments that have come to many of us who have family members who've survived. So I'll read the resolution proclamation. Whereas breast cancer is the most common cancer among women in the United States, impacting 1 in 8 women during their lifetime. And I'll interrupt myself on the proclamation because I've seen this more than one time on the news, both in terms of in the state and the nation. It affects men as well. It affects families and entire communities. And whereas early detection through regular screenings and mammographies, along with advances in research and treatment, have significantly increased survival rates, and whereas community education and awareness are vital in promoting prevention, encouraging regular screenings, and supporting those impacted by breast cancer, and whereas October is nationally recognized as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, a time to honor survivors, remember those who we have lost to the disease, and reaffirm our commitment to fighting breast cancer through research, education, support, and whereas the Boyle County Fiscal Court acknowledges the importance of raising awareness, supporting patients and survivors, and working toward the goal of ending breast cancer. Now therefore I, Tom V. Ellis, Boyle County Judge Executive Pro Tem, and the Boyle County Fiscal Court do hereby proclaim October 25 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Boyle County, and encourage all citizens to join in activities that increase awareness, promote early detection, and support individuals and families impacted by breast cancer. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the Boyle County Fiscal Court to be affixed this 14th day of October 25, and exercising the privilege of the chair, Madam Bodner, as a nurse and one who deeply understands this, I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion.
So moved by Magistrate Bodner,
Second.
seconded by another healthcare professional, Magistrate Sleeper. Any comments, questions?
Just
thoughts?
as a young nurse, if you had breast cancer, you died. All my patients back years ago, you came in, they had breast cancer, and we're like, oh, well now you don't. And now you live for years and years and years, and all the treatments they have are doing great, and we want to continue and end it one day. So that's my hope.
Well said.
Get a picture or anything? All right. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, all right. All right. Today I'm excited to introduce a couple of gentlemen who I had the privilege of meeting and discussing things with at my church a few weeks ago when Centenary, as we do every year, opened up for our coaches of our football teams to come. Having been the most injured player in my high school's history, I'm not a contender for a position on either Boyle or Danville Admirals, but it is long known, and I was particularly pleased to hear from many, many people that they got the connection between a healthy and vibrant athletic program all across the scope of both Danville and Boyle County, far beyond football, and its impact when you're successful on the entire community's growth, economic development, and overall health of the community. So we have here today Coach Stonebraker and
Alex is out. He's right there in the hall. Somebody could have hollered at him. I don't want to say anything.
And Coach Haddock's his dad.
I know that, I'm not introducing. Since you're late, I'm gonna say, this guy in the back had a lot to do with you. His father as well. Better late than never.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. And you know, before I start, there's a guy who just came in with white hair like mine, and I'd like you to speak about what it means to have successful programs far beyond the field of play, but also all the way to economic development. This is former chairman of the board for how many years?
Well, too long. I'm Steve Becker. I'm on the Danville School Board and now into my 19th year serving, but it's not been consecutive. I have lost an election.
So
But anyways, no, it's my pleasure to be here, not expecting to speak. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, come to the podium.
Okay.
We'll get you on camera.
Now it can all be traced to what I say. You know, the athletics part of educational systems is, when you look at budgetary and things like that, is about that much. But what it contributes to adding to the educational system is a lot. Because it's nice to have winning programs. It's nice just to have programs. And so the athletic programs, as the coaches can tell you, really do not support themselves. A lot of money is coming out of general funds, especially when it comes down to some of the expenses. Gate receipts are not enough to take care of the total programs. But it enhances the school districts, whether you have a winning program or not, that it gives a lot of our kids an outlet to participate beyond the academic world. So it's so important that we provide those accommodations, whether it's through field improvements, athletic equipment improvements, but then also offering that we have a backup system, as the coaches know, that education does come first and being a student athlete really comes second. All three of my children found that out in college. So they were all three athletes, all went to college and found out, well, athletics is kind of a part-time job when it comes down to all of it. But I appreciate the fact that you guys are willing to recognize this and recognize both of our programs.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And I'd also like to honor our Magistrate Jamie Gay, because he understands sports from a different perspective, having been involved at Center College for a century, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. Some people say since C6HO, when at Harvard in 1921.
We've got we've got more than that, but Jamie is chair of our finance committee, and he reads a spreadsheet financially for the court the way I read other items, because you don't want to ask me questions about finance. But I do want to honor Jamie and have him speak as well of the importance overall to the entire community of athletic programs, plural.
Well, thank you. I wasn't expecting to do this either, so you kind of put me on the spot. But as a person that spent my life working as an athletic trainer, and I would have obviously taken care of Tom, it sounds like a lot. It sounds like he spent a lot of time in the athletic training room. I do want to say that the importance of a coach, which I think is, short of dad, mom, is probably one of the more esteemed titles that a person can have. And having been around athletics my entire life, I think that comes with a lot of responsibility, and they're measured on wins. That's how they make their living and what they're measured on. But being a coach is so much more than wins and losses. They impact young people's lives and change young people's lives. And I think these two men here in this room are great representatives of the profession of coach, and not only represent their schools and their teams and their families well, I think they're representative of the fact that we have many great coaches in this community, of many other sports in addition to football coaches. So I think it is important. It truly impacts a community having successful programs, there's no doubt about it. But again, I think success can be measured in many, many different ways.
And I'd like to also comment about the fact that the mentoring of Magistrate Jamie Gay had a little bit to do with your son, who some might not know.
Yeah, we were fortunate, and it had nothing, I mean, I guess his mother probably is more responsible for it. By kicking him in the tail a lot growing up, that he was fortunate enough to become a professional football player and kicked for 3 years on the active roster of the Buffalo Bills, which unfortunately lost last night. But so it was quite a surreal experience for us, but that was strictly a God-given gift, because he just had an ability to strike a football better than a lot of other people had.
Thank you. And before I introduce the two coaches, the man who made one successful along with 3 other sons, Daniel, do you have any comments about?
He won't let me talk.
Ain't got enough time for this.
So I'd probably be talking more. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Well, we appreciate you too, and I've always appreciated talking with you.
Very proud of that one right there. He's about like Jamie said, you know, I can't take credit because he's God-given and he's done well in playing and coaching, so, and just glad he's at Boyle County.
Well, thank you, sir. Now, we're not on the gridiron, and I don't have a coin in my pocket, so gentlemen, pick a number between 1 and 10, and the closest one will speak, will have the choice of the end of the field and win. Who speaks first?
He can go ahead, that's fine.
Coach?
I won't defer. All right.
Score first.
Yeah, score quick, score first. All right, well, I'm glad to be at Danville. I'll tell you this, I've spoken in front of a lot of groups as my 25th year as a head coach, and I've been hired to speak at company picnics and everything, but this is the first time I've ever spoken in front of a fiscal court, so this is a first for me. So I thank Mr. Ellis for inviting me, and definitely glad to be here, and pumped up to be the head football coach at Danville High School, and have been since I took the job and was offered the job. So excited to be here. It was 60 days ago. Exactly 60 days ago at 9:28, Danville was on the state's longest losing streak. All right, in just a matter of hours, we would break that, and we would win the first game they'd won in 23 games. So if you had at this point going into week 9 of the season that Danville would be 7-1 and playing for a district championship on your bingo board, you're not a winner, because it would mean you're playing bingo in an insane asylum. All right. But that's where we're at, and I can tell you this: I'm so pumped up for our juniors and seniors, because those guys have been through it. To go 2 straight years and not have a victory, and to still stick it out and tough it out and play this game that's tough to play under any circumstances. But I can't imagine how difficult it was for them to go 2 years and not win a football game, and then they still do the work that I asked them to do in the off season. They bought into the culture that we established from day one, and it's great to see those guys have some success, because I've told them the last couple weeks, I know for so many of them what they dreamed of was the ability to play in meaningful football games. And last Friday night they played in one. Last Friday night they played in one that, you know, the victor was going to get a home field playoff game in the first round, and that was probably something they really seriously had to dream about. And now they get another one this week with greater stakes. And you know, kind of got to think about it this way: if there were fiscal court rankings in Kentucky and this were ranked last, this fiscal court was ranked last, how you would feel, and then turn that into your 16-year-old self. You know, so you know, with everything our society has going right now, and you know, the pressures on kids with social media, you know, I'm just really proud of my guys, really proud of my players. And I think I'm like this too. We're all kind of like this. Older generations kind of look at the younger generations behind them and think they're softer. Maybe there's some truth to that, but I can tell you this, the football players at Danville, they have a lot of fortitude. They have a lot of gumption. They're going to make great employees one day because those guys have fought through some tough circumstances. They stayed in the boat, and just so glad that they had better days than what they've had in the recent past. So it's awesome for me to see. We've got some seniors. David Shelton's one of them, and he's one that's played all 4 years at Danville, and probably played his best game of his life Friday night, both sides of the football. He had multiple tackles for losses, multiple sacks. Had a senior by the name of Jaden Tandy, who just came back from a knee injury, and we moved him to linebacker and had 9 total tackles Friday night. So they were big. Of course, Sasha Wade, somebody that a lot of people know, moved him to center this year and had an outstanding game for us Friday, both sides of the ball. He was double teamed most every play Friday night defensively, and that's why Jaden and David really had a great game. Jacaven Walker and Gavin Walker are 2 kids that are seniors that have been playing and have had their best games recently. They've really gotten better and had their best games recently. And then Dyron Moody, somebody who's been there for us both sides of the ball on the line of scrimmage all year long. So those are some of our seniors that have been through some tough times, and I think it's important to recognize those guys, as it is our juniors. We got a kid named Keegan Jones, who's our starting right tackle, who played a little bit more defense Friday night than he's typically played this year. Trendon Sellers is a kid who's returned punts and kickoffs for touchdowns and been a big play guy for us. But he's one of our best defensive players and had a good game. If you ever see us play, one of the most fun kids to watch is number 21, Marquise Elmore, because he's about 5'9", 150 pounds at outside linebacker, and he's all over the place. And I mean, he's full of as much pep as you can get, and he's just really fun to watch. And then another junior, Jatavion Beasley, who's a corner. 2 weeks ago, his father passed away. And, this young man just, stayed the course and continued to play football, continued to come out to practice. And, you think about fighting through adversity. We talk about all these kids fighting through adversity, but what that young man's dealt with the last couple of weeks of his life, and to play like he has and have the attitude that he has is truly, truly remarkable. So we got a lot of older guys that deserve mention. Because our young guys get a lot of attention because we start 7 freshmen. A lot of people know that. One game we started 8 freshmen, and those guys, are getting a lot of notoriety at a young age. There's probably other schools in the state that are starting 7 freshmen. I don't know if they're 7-1 or not, but there's probably some other schools doing that. But we've got some freshmen that are absolutely fearless, and that's why they're able to get out there in a varsity game and do what they do. We told them coming in they're going to have a chance to earn starting positions and win jobs, and they took that to heart. They've done a great job for us, and they've won more games as freshmen this year than they won as 8th graders last year on their 8th grade team. So that's something that's pretty cool. And they're writing their own story in the history of Danville football, which is an illustrious history. These guys are going to have a chance to really have a great legacy at Danville High School if things continue to go the way they're going. But they've bought in. All of our players bought into our program and our culture change. The attendance attitude in the off season was great, and like I said, great to see them have success. It started with us, like I said, culture change in weight room, and we're still going with that. I can tell you this, I've never lifted in season more than 2 days a week as a head coach. That's kind of, most coaches just, don't do that. My son plays college football. They lift 2 days a week in season. This year, we've lifted 3 days a week hard, about 40-minute lifts 3 days a week, and we're getting stronger in season. We had a max out a couple weeks ago in season, and guys are getting stronger. So when I say they've bought in, I mean they've bought into a level of work that is extreme comparatively for what they've been through. So want to invite you guys out to see us if you haven't seen us.
I've been there.
Okay, that's great. We've got one more home game left in the regular season. We're at Lexington Christian this week, and then we got our open week next week, and then we'll have a home game senior night to finish out the season. Then we'll be at home first round of the playoffs at the very least. But want to get you guys out there to see us if you haven't seen us. We've got a great game night atmosphere. I mean, we've got LED lights, we've got the new video board, we're doing stuff with that like you would see in a D1 stadium. We've got brand new track that's completed now, brand new fencing. all around the stadium that looks fantastic. So got to thank Mr. Ballard back here, Mr. Goodwin. The administrative support that I've gotten has been great. Community support I've gotten has been great, and we got a heck of a mountain to climb this week. You know, the goal at Danville High School, even taking over in the situation where I took over. Obviously, I didn't take over a situation where I was standing on third base. You know, we're starting at square one, but the goal at Danville High School is to compete and win state championships. And the team we're playing this week is one of the 5 or so schools in that top tier of Class 2A. So we're going to get the opportunity to see where we stand with them, how far we are away from that, and you know, maybe we're closer than we think, maybe we're a couple years away from really competing and being able to win those games against that top tier. But we're going to keep working to get there, and we got a great opportunity this week, and we're excited about it. But I thank you guys for inviting me to speak here. It's great to see all of you.
Any questions,
Yeah.
folks? Coach Haddock knows all about Lexington, Christian, yeah. Coach?
Yes, all right. Appreciate you letting me come up. This is the first time also for me speaking in front of Fiscal Court, so I appreciate you letting us do that. Kind of give you a little State of the Union of the program, of where we're at and what we have, and just talking about everything that we do. I'll start with our middle school. We got a really good middle school. Our middle school class coming up is undefeated. Jake Smith's our head coach. And that, I said, they got 34 8th graders coming. We got 29 7th graders, 63 total playing middle school. Got a couple kids already got offers in that. At Gus Singleton's, 6'2", 235 pounds. His dad coaches with me, but he's going to be a really good player coming up. And Drayton Littlejohn's an athlete, runs in the low 11 in the 100 meter. Also got a college offers, an 8th grader. So handling that success and doing that and working, seeing them coming up through it is really doing good. Landry Perry and Aiken McCoy are also some guys in that team that are coming up and going to be really good players. And they all play other sports. They're all playing multi-sport athletes, and we feel got a good feel for the game. Our high schools, we got 75 total players in that. Kind of breaks down. We got 17 seniors with that, so that's a pretty big class. As a coach, you love to have as close as you can have to 20. If you can have 20 every year, you feel like you can reload in that. We got 17. I mentioned a few of them. Jaden Smith Heisel. If you walked in here or you see him walking down something, you know, well, that kid don't play football. And he is just a fireball of what he's done. And he's a kid who's really came up from, he was the scout team running back. He dominated the lower levels in middle school, and then here he comes up as a freshman. And, a guy who at most places would play. He would be a starter, he'd be a 1,000-yard rusher at other places around. But he stuck it out with us of saying, hey, this is your role. You're a special teams player, and then you've got to stick it out. And now it's his senior year, it's your turn to go do it. And then he's not necessarily, we don't have one guy who carries it 20 times. Our guys are going to carry it. We had the other night, I think, 2 guys carried it 13 times apiece, and we're moving the ball, and we're going to play a bunch of people, and it's competitive as far as what we're doing. But he's been very dominant. He's our leading rusher. Jakeem Ray, returning starter, he'll be a college player. He's one who starts both ways for us and been a really good player coming up. Another guy who didn't start as a sophomore, played as a junior, and played some DB and really competed, and he's stepping up. Daryl Yancey III is a kid. It's a special story. I know a lot of people's been talking about him. He's been very dominant, been players of the week on some of these things. But he's a kid who showed up at school last year. He had a family member pass away. He shows up the first day of school in August and knocks on the door and says, hey, Coach, I want to play football. At that time, we start in July. We start in this. And going to be a junior, do this. And his mother passed away and moved up, had to live with his uncle, moved from Louisiana, come up here and play. Hadn't played as a sophomore. I called the coach and said, great kid, had troubles and things, couldn't make it, but a great kid. And then what he's doing for us now, being a two-way starter, starts on the offense at running back, and then also playing defensive line. He was dominant against St. X. I think he had 3 or 4 sacks against St. X. So he's been a dominant player, and he's been great for us. Bubby McPherson is a senior who's got some offers to do this. He's a physical specimen. If you've seen him walk through, he's a very, plays both ways for us, starts at corner and plays there. Jax Crow, if you ever watch number 13 playing on the field for us, he plays with unbelievable motor. And, we talk about the way that you play and how you play the game and how hard you play. That shows your love for your team. because you're playing for that. He may not make every tackle, but when 13's out there, he's going as hard as he can. Ashton Drakeford, college player, he's going to commit here soon. He's got Southern Illinois and Indiana State did this. He came over to us, and he got hurt. He ended up, during our open week, we were in practice, he ended up breaking his ankle. He got hurt on a Tuesday. He had surgery on Friday with hopes that hopefully he could get back by the second round of the playoffs. So it was one of those things he could wait around. I don't want to try to have surgery. I want to get back, coach. You got to keep playing where we can get back. So we're hopeful that he can be there. Briley Burris, one of the strongest kids that we have on our team. He's never played offensive line before. Started offensive line last year as a junior, and he's playing both ways for us. J.J. Goodman, another guy, plays both ways. As a line, he's 6'2" or 6'3", 250 pounds. Had a little injury in the weight room, come down, a bar hit his chest and had a cracked sternum, so he was out for 6 weeks. We're getting him back and getting him rolling. So he's been really good. Cole Kelly, really one of the only guys that, since I've been here, started as a freshman. So we've had one freshman start, and he's it. He started center as a freshman. He's played guard, he plays tackle. He'll also play on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Cliff Yoakum, one of the most dominant ones. He was injured early, had to miss some last year. Then we come up and plays 2 games, goes gets checked, has a meniscus tear. He tells the doctor, hey, I'm playing. I'm going to play this. Sits out a couple weeks, and then he made the decision, I'll have surgery after the season, and I'm going to play football. I want to play on this team. This is what it means of being a part of something. So very, very appreciative of him. He was starting both ways. Now he just plays defense, but he's a guy who's getting back in the shape. Landon Green, obviously he's a senior, and he was a kid. I don't know if you followed any of our social media. Probably our dominant lineman is an 8th grader in this, and Landon's always on our sideline. He ended up having had surgery. It was in the magazine this week. Thought he was going to lose his ankle, lost his whole leg. Comes there every day. We do stuff early in the morning at 6:45. He's there in the morning, just wants to be a part of it. And he's a great young man. Then he kind of come up and told us, I think we were playing St. X, and he had surgery on that Tuesday. And I said, Landon, when's your surgery? Kind of going on. I said, well, it's on Tuesday, but I didn't want to be a distraction. I said, son, this is way more than football, being a distraction there. But he has that, and I talked to him, and hopefully he'll be coming home this week. But everything seemed to go well, sounded good in his voice, and many prayers for him and his family. Our junior class is not a big class, but they're very good quality. Everybody's heard Seneca Driver. As far as that, 6'7", 235 pounds, and he has offers from everyone in the country, taking him to camps and just seeing what all he does and how just physically impressive. And then it's about him, the leadership of coming in, being a more of a role player last year as a sophomore. Now you got to be the man as a junior, and the way that he's taken that, and I think that's in life or whatever you're doing, he has really stepped up to the challenge and been a very dominant player for us. Starts both ways, had a nice interception for a touchdown last week. Lucas Akers, college player who plays linebacker. He was a kid who played JV a lot as a sophomore, played some special teams, and then it's his turn now. So he's really taken off as a linebacker. Braden Border Coughlin, same way. College player, not the biggest guy you see walking through the room, but he plays with an unbelievable passion. From this, some of y'all I'm sure know his uncle, Michael Paul Webb, who he kind of plays like him a little bit. And he's one of those kids you have to tone down instead of have to gouge him all the time, get him going. So he's a leader for us on defense. Nathaniel Shetman, obviously got some speed outside. If we can get him going, he's just getting better. This is his first year as a starter on the varsity, but he's turning on. And then Ja'Kane Logan, he's 6 foot 210, probably one of the most physically impressive guys and maybe underrated people that we have. He is. Seems like he always shows up. It don't show up on the stat thing, but he's always making plays. I shared a video of him. We talk about blocking on the edge a lot. It's always tough, and he's not getting the ball, but he's got to make the play for somebody else. It's not necessarily, you're not going to get the ball every time. There's only one football, but you got to make plays for your teammates. And him blocking on the edge, had an interception in the game. He seems like he's always around the ball and making things happen. Another young kid we got coming up, Adrian Newell's really turned it on. He's a junior and really feel like he had some injuries and coming back and really feel like he's going to be a good one. Our sophomore class, big class and very good. They're probably our best as you look at your deepest class. Mitch Wilson's a kid who's had some injuries, but he's somebody we expect to be a really good football player. Jet Raleigh, the kid who's really kind of turned on for us at quarterback, had Baylor Murphy go down, a senior go down, and Baylor's getting back and playing other positions and doing some things, but we're riding with the hot hand as far as all that goes. But Jet's a dynamic runner and kind of made us a little better on offense, being able to move and can pull and make some runs. Peyton Lefew, we all heard that name. He's been our long snapper for both the short kicks and short extra points and punts. Done a great job there. We had to have him fill in as our JV quarterback last night. So he had a big night last night against Lincoln County, beat them 42-0 in JV. Lucas Young, the sophomore, starting in the secondary for us, has really turned on. He started some corner. Ashton goes down. We got to move him to safety. Just a football player. Brady Edwards, 6'2", long. It said he's dominated the JV so far. I'll talk about our JV team, but had a 96-yard catch and run at Louisville Mail the other night, and playing both ways on our JV. Brady Thompson's another wide receiver, DB, that we feel really good about as a sophomore. Diving catches, he had a fourth down diving catch, had a big diving catch last night, and then he had a pick six against Louisville Mail last week. Took it about 60 yards to the house. And then Christian Bryant, 6'3", 275. He's a monster, O-line, D-line. He's got some offers already, and he'll be a big-time prospect. And then Grant Holman, Corey Holman, knows his dad, Corey. He's 6'5", 245, and a sophomore. Got some offers on the line, and is going to be a really good player. And just the more reps he gets doing that. We've played, since I've been here, I think 6 or 7 sophomores have started for us. So if you're a sophomore and you're playing a lot for us, you're a good football player. Avery Bodner was one that played a lot as a freshman too, so he was one that played as a freshman. He had a big interception. I'll never forget the interception he had in 2020 at state finals. the kid hadn't thrown an interception the whole year, and I know I'm going off track, but I just saw that. But he made a diving pick in the fourth that we should have ended it in regulation, ended up going to overtime. But the first interception the kid had thrown, and there's Avery as a freshman diving, making a play. It'll never come out of my mind from him. Freshman, Merrick Cornelius is a kid that's plays quarterback, plays linebacker, is athlete, just a football player. He's also really good. I think he was rated #1 baseball player as a freshman. Throws 89, 90 miles per hour as a pitcher, so he's really good. Luke Tammy, we've all heard that name. Luke's going to be a really good player. He's playing some up on the JV. Got a really good feel for the game. Understands spacing, does that. Another kid who's stepped up for us, we don't have a running back with that freshman group, but Hudson Spoonemore has been a kid who really playing different spots and having to run the ball more and be aggressive. He's done a great job for us. Gage Bottom is another kid who's got some speed and plays DB, outside linebacker, and plays wide receiver. And then our kicker who's starting on our varsity too is Grant Klosterman. So knock on wood, he's not missed one yet on the varsity level, extra points. So we've been very good there. He works really hard, and having to do those, it makes it tough on him because he's not only just a kicker, he's playing linebacker and he's playing O-line too. So in our lower levels, our JV teams that were undefeated beat some of the top teams around. We've had to travel to trying to find games, and that is tough because around here not many people will play. So we've had to travel up, and we played Louisville Mail. We're playing the JV Conference Championship on the Monday at our place, so welcome to come out and show it. They play quality football. Our freshmen, 3 and 2, they beat 6A schools, Great Crossing, Bullitt East, and Frederick Douglass. They lost to Scott County and Frederick Douglass, so that. And then kind of talking about our staff for that, we're very blessed that we've got 3 coaches that are able to, hey, you're coaching the freshman JV, this is all you got to worry about. You show up on Fridays and do this, which is important. Really want to, we put that focus on them that I think kids get better by being coached, and they get better by playing, and you got to have coaches there that are not, today's time, they don't get better by sitting over there watching. And, our practices are up-tempo, and we want them to be coached, but Matt Bottom's the head coach there, and he also works with the varsity tight ends. Dalen Morris works with the defensive backs, and he's our school SRO and does an outstanding job, relationships and coaching. He also works with our track, speed development, things that he does on the side for us is really, really important. And then Michael Paul Webb is also, he calls our defense for our freshman JV. Talking about our coaches, everybody get all the praise and all the loss whenever it happens. It's on me, but can't do anything without our coaches. Nick Mills, our defensive coordinator, he coaches our linebackers, done an outstanding job this year. Multiple things about, I think it was maybe the best I've seen us play when we played St. X on defense the other night. I know I shared a little video, 11 Black Hats to the ball, and we talked about playing for each other, but he's done an outstanding job with this culture. This is his first year being it all by himself, being the defense coordinator. Very blessed with him. Tyler Ray, he coaches our defensive backs. He also runs our weight room, so he's taken a role that Jeff Hester had for 20 years. And then you've got Jackson Arnett left, and he's undefeated at Glasgow right now. He was running the weight room. And then here, this is Tyler Ray's first year. We had the most 23 kids power clean over 225 pounds in the weight room. Right now, we lift 5 days a week. They got it either in class during the day or right before practice. He's having them lift in the weight room. We're doing 5 days a week every day, so they're getting after it. Kyle Singleton is the guy, Gus's dad, as he's known now, as Gus's dad when he comes in the room. But Kyle does our defensive line, has done a great job. Travis Lefew, he coaches our offensive line. Anytime you can have a former NFL guy and a college All-American coaching your offensive line, that's always good. Dion McPherson coaches our running backs and our safeties. And then Josh Cole's the new one. He's been a head coach at Grant County. He's been at Lincoln, Madison Central, all around. And as an assistant, he coaches our wide receiver, runs our special teams. Looking at our schedule going forward, we've obviously played some really tough teams, played contenders in LCA, didn't play our best against Lexington Catholic, took a loss. And you know, that's something we test them. And I feel like, you know, obviously you never want to lose, but it was a wake-up call for our program, for our guys, of saying, hey, you just can't show up and walk away with the win. Then we came back against Fort Thomas Highlands and obviously won a big game. 6A Ballard, St. X was a time, never played them here at Boyle County. There's not many times at Boyle County you can do a first, and that was something our kids really were fired up for. Now we're starting our district. Russell County, we went down to Russell last week, got Lincoln at home. Lincoln's 6-1, probably the best year they've had in a while. Then we'll finish with Wayne and at Frederick Douglass, so another challenge there for us. Just kind of in parting of it, I just want to thank you all for having us, inviting both programs. You know, here high school football in our area is special. I've been all over the state as far as what we are, and having two good teams in the area and the passion, the community that everybody brings is very important. I think it's great for both schools to be good. Nobody wants to, want to win every game. It is a competition. Obviously now, we don't play, but it's something like, hey, we want to have the best record. We want to go farther. That's just kids as far as what we're doing. But, want to see them do well, want to see them do good. They're doing a great job. And I said, we're proud at Boyle County what our program represents, the toughness, preparation, and willingness to take on any challenge about who we play. We believe we're in playing the best. Iron sharpens iron. As far as what we say to our kids, is we've got to play the best to get better. We put together one of the toughest schedules. We feel like it helps our kids grow and compete and represent this county in the right way. We respect opponents, rivalries, and there's not a rivalry of playing, but there is a rivalry of wanting to win and be the better team in the area, which is good. And we're going to keep raising the bar and keep our kids battle tested and Boyle County community that you can be proud of on and off the field. But thank you all for having me. Any questions? Anything? Got any for?
I'm going to comment that as being a nurse for so many years and a teacher in high school for so many years, that sports can be a reason for a kid that does not have the support at home to come to school, which we know it's to get that education that'll follow them through life, but that sports leads them to the education part. So it's very important for these kids, especially the ones without a lot of support.
Yeah, and that's something I know Coach has been doing that too, but feeding them, and we have them and doing this, so feeding them, make sure they're fed, and you're having that, and you're breaking bread with them, and they get to see outside of the football field of having meals. I know he's been lucky with people sponsor meals. We've had people sponsor meals and do that. I think anything you can help a kid and be a part of something, I think is very important. There's so many other things here, and I know I've got 3 kids and they want to sit on their phone and that's what they want to do. But I think being out, being a part of something, whether it's the band, whether it's soccer, whatever it is, I think kids having something they can hold them to is very important. And coaches and the community support with that is, I think, one of the most important things with our young people going on moving forward.
I'd just like to say, thank you guys for coming today. The passion, the knowledge of these young men by these coaches just does make future leaders in a way that some of us who did have an awkward background growing up. Coach Haddix knows Bob Redmond extremely well, and Pappy Redmond was my first coach and truly a mentor too many years back to even talk about. So it makes for a tremendous community, and that's why I felt like it was so important that we bring them out and show what tremendous futures we're going to have, and we got to keep these kids here. That's something I hope you guys will coach as well. I'd like all the guys, Superintendent, Daniel, Steve. Steve, you and I will be bookends up here with our white hair, and I want Jamie in the middle.
Oh, no.
So there'll be plenty of light.
Santa.
There'll be plenty of light.
I've seen Jamie play Santa, he does a good job.
He hadn't seen me play. Hey, Jamie gets to see me every morning.
That's right. I hear we need a dad get back coach.
Oh, yeah, we do. I had to get him back the other night, get say this.
That's what he told us.
Yes, he's up there wanting to be involved in the middle of it.
Let's see, it gotta look this way, yeah.
Okay.
Don't want to take our backs.
That'll be the best place.
Okay. Oh, I can get everybody in. Great. All right. 1, 2, 3. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Tom for inviting me.
Good to see you again, man.
Enjoy our conversation. God bless you all.
He's looking good over there.
Yes, sir. Wow, appreciate you. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
First time I had ever had some time.
Thank you.
Uber Dan. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yes, sir.
Rusty, you want to follow that?
Gee, let me make a long walk to the podium.
And Rusty had an all-state football player a couple years back, wasn't it?
Well, he wasn't all-state, but he was.
He was to me. He-
4 championship team.
And now, is he still principal? Is he?
Washington County.
Yeah.
High school. Yes,
That's awesome.
That's part of that leadership that comes with football program.
That's a good job. Okay, you requested that you want just a little update on some building?
Yeah, seeing some energy out there.
Oh, there's some out there, yes. So far, we're just at the halfway point of October, so we've got 2.5 months left. We've done 175 total permits, which is a lot.
That is a lot.
95 from Boyle County and 80 from Danville. Danville's making a big comeback there. I think what's unbelievable is the fact that we've done 86 houses, new single-family dwellings, few additions, 10 of those or so, but and a little bit of commercial, five or six commercial, but 86 houses in 1 year, and we're not even done yet. I mean, we've got a couple of new neighborhoods that are going in off Balkman Avenue for one. Still got some availability in a new one called Stonegate, which is off of Old Houstonville Road, and the Hunt Farm out here is going to be opening up a new section, so
Good.
it's going to keep going.
Good.
Is the price per square foot coming down at all?
No, materials have come down a little, but I'm sure labor has gone up and everything. It's way up there. I think it's over $200 a square foot.
And are the builders talking about labor force, or are they able to?
I've not heard anything lately about any shortages, so maybe we're getting some people in there, and that's something we've needed to do. We need carpenters, HVAC. That some of the biggest problems is just people having to wait in line to get a skilled technician, you know, somebody like a plumber,
electrician.
all
And
that.
that's where we
There's a
need to
lot.
have KCTC back in here soon. And,
Well, yes,
or more
absolutely.
counties complement of it, because I know that Ryan Quarles is doing a tremendous job statewide, and it's just critical that kids who don't want to go, don't have the money to go to college or whatever, can come out of BCTC debt-free and have a career with
Sometimes a
numbers.
six-figure career. in
That's
some of
what's
these.
stunning to me.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I think that needs to be broadcast a lot more.
That's
College isn't for everybody, but I figure that's almost like college. I mean,
Yeah.
you might as well call it about the same. Yeah, we need to get a lot more people into that because the older ones are dropping out.
Okay, any questions?
No, sounds good though.
Come
I
back.
like all the activity.
Anytime.
Oh, I'll be doing a year end at some point. Thank you all.
Thanks for coming. Next, Robin. Robin now, Mallory.
All right.
And she has a wonderful invitation for us.
I do. I need money. Sheriff Bottom successfully completed his 40 hours of training. So I am just requesting a motion of approval to pay him. The incentive amount is $3,976.59. That's paid out in 3 payments of $1,325.53 each.
Make a motion?
Motion from Magistrate Bodner. Second from Magistrate Sleeper. Comments, questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Thank you, Robin.
You're welcome. Let me give this to Tim. Wasn't sure if you needed that.
All right, Steve, would you check and see if is going to be the sheriff?
Hello.
Oh, hello, Sheriff.
Hello.
We don't have the sheriff.
Yes, James.
Okay.
So I am here for the third quarter report to have the fiscal court to recognize that today.
All right, everyone has had an opportunity to look at the report. Are there any questions or comments?
Do we acknowledge the second?
I think this one has to be approved, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
We have-
Okay,
Yeah, let's,
I'll make that motion.
motion to approve by Magistrate Gay
Second.
and second by Magistrate Sleeper. Comments, questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right,
That's easy.
thank you.
So are you signing
Uh,
for us, or do I just?
Yeah,
need
now
to-
let's see, what have I got versus
Oh, I'm
yours?
sorry.
Bill
Okay.
has to sign.
Oh, Bill does have to
Bill
sign?
has to
Okay, I'm sorry. Bill has to sign.
Or I can wait and have Julie, she'll be here tomorrow?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna let Bill
All
sign.
right.
We'll have to sign.
I'll put that pen there.
So, Bill will have to sign it.
Okay,
too.
that's fine. So I'll just have him to.
Okay. So I'll lay that
This
down. Casey McCoy.
Yeah. Sorry. There you go, on this one.
All right, okay. We heard about your son.
Yeah.
Yeah. Morning.
Good morning.
We are prepared for your report, sir.
Yes, I'm here just for you all to recognize our quarterly report from the clerk's office.
Move we recognize the clerk's quarterly report.
Do we need a second on that? Yeah,
Just
or just
acknowledge
acknowledge,
that.
okay. All right. Okay, any questions, comments? And that he wants to sign this one, or you?
No, we don't have to sign it.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're good.
Thank you.
Are we ready for round robin? Oh, no.
Executive session.
We have a reason to have executive session, and I'll entertain a motion
Actually, it's for KRS 61.8101B, deliberations on the future acquisition or sale of real property by a public agency, but only when Publicity would likely affect the value of the specific property to be acquired for public use or sold by a public agency.
I guess I need to entertain a motion to adjourn for the purpose of going into executive session, correct?
No,
Just to go into executive.
no, just executive session. We adjourn after.
Okay.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Motion made by Magistrate Sleeper,
Second.
second by Magistrate Gay. All in favor?
Aye.
And let's take a
to know.
Both said yes.
I didn't hear it.
So I make a motion to return to regular session with no
Motion
action taken.
by Magistrate Sleeper to come back into session with no action taken. Do I-
Second.
Second by Magistrate Bodner. Any discussion? Call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, we are now officially, do we also have to make the motion to come back, or that takes care of it?
No, you already made it.
Okay,
Good.
all right. We're in the round robin now, and Magistrate Boder?
I did have a question about the letter from the EPA, and I'd like to get the full report on that. This is just a letter, but I'd really like to see the report, if that's all right.
And that's confirming that we can proceed with no impediments.
I think that has to do with the smoke. So I'd just like to see what the full report says. I do want to mention that in Junction City, we're having trick or treat on 31st, and we have a lot of fun with that every year, and I hope everybody comes out. It's from 5:30 to 7:30. We have had a lot going on with the fire department, and a lot of comments about all the turmoil that seems to be going on right now, but I called Mayor Douglas, and he told me we do have fire coverage, and that fire coverage will remain the way it is. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we're covered if we have an incident.
And let me make a comment that I shared with you before you came in. I started getting texts and calls last night, even though, that's not in my district. And I was certain what I wrote, but I wrote to Rich Ornstein, and he absolutely confirmed that we have no jurisdiction, we have no dog in the fight on this. We can individually entertain discussions, but everything on the issue of any of the fire departments comes straight from the state. So
But we have to cover them if the county fire has to cover
the
them.
state, according to Rich, the state is responsible for arranging coverage.
The state doesn't have a fire department.
I don't know.
It's just like where we have to cover for, the sheriff's department has to cover for police for them as well.
I think it's a non-issue really, because Mayor Douglas says that
I mean,
fire.
they have a fire chief in place now.
Yes, they have a fire chief in place now, and so it will continue.
Does he have a force?
Yes,
Okay, all right, then that makes it a moot point.
yes, that's what I thought. But we do have lots of things coming up in the fall, and I just wanted to remind everybody that to stay safe with the Halloween and take the kids out and have bright clothing and lights, and it's getting ready to be a Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we'll have a lot of fun activities for families. So that's all I have.
Mr. Cullen.
The EMS committee met this morning. We had an update from the crisis team, also the community outreach team. Mo gave a great update on education that's happening at EMS. Tim and Mike gave us an update on EMS operations as far as truck statuses and personnel. We've got a couple trucks that are causing some issues. Runs for August was 638, which is about 21 a day. And for September, it was 658, which was about 22 a day. And that is my report I'll submit.
Do I hear a motion to
Second.
accept the
Second.
EMS report?
I'll second his motion.
Yes.
Motion made by Magistrate Cullen, seconded by Magistrate Gay. Any discussion? All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Like sign? It is accepted. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it.
Okay, Magistrate Gay.
Just quickly, the homecoming for Center this week, so we'll have a lot of visitors in town. It's a night football game on Saturday night, so be big festivities associated with homecoming, a lot of alums and families and all of that coming to town. So again, another busy weekend around Center's campus. So hopefully the weather will continue to be beautiful as it has been for the past several days. I did want to update everybody. I kind of represent the court on the building committee for the public safety building, and we had that big everybody involved, and we'll continue to do that at key points along the way, of course. But I did want to say that we met last Thursday, I think it was, and they had made all the changes that were requested in that meeting before, and we did get the geotech information back, and that was all good in the fact that we could have basements if we're so inclined and the budget allows and all of those type of things. So basements are a possibility. We also made a few more little tweaks. Mike and all the department heads, if you will, sheriff and EMA and Mike were all involved in the discussion again last Thursday, and each had a few more little tweaks and because of the fact that Rob was in his office, he could literally make the tweaks on the fly. Cool. So he made the adjustments on his computer as they asked for them, and so that was kind of nice. So one of the things that we also I asked for and they're working on is making sure we're communicating with the state on the entry points for the road access coming on to Lebanon Road there, because there will be 2 points of access onto Lebanon Road, and so they're going to work on that part of the process. And then I continue to request how soon we will be able to get to our guaranteed maximum price. And we talked a little bit about that in our committee meeting this morning, because that's when the rubber meets the road. Right now it's all fun and games and everybody gets to put in what they want, and then we have to decide what we actually need and what we can afford is coming soon. So I think that'll be coming soon, and they also are going to start the process of developing some elevations of the building, because we're going to start to enter the phase of knowing what the material, the construction, the exteriors of the buildings will need to be, because that obviously factors into the guaranteed maximum price. And so all of that is coming soon, and to me that's when it really starts to become pretty cool, though, when it starts to grow off the page instead of just being the blocks on the page. It will soon start to get some renderings of what the buildings could look like, and that's where obviously we'll need everyone's input and guidance on that part of the process as well. So he gave us some examples of different buildings, and it's everything from buildings that are very modern, lots of glass, to buildings that are your very basic metal building, a little bit of brick here and there, and so hopefully we'll come in somewhere in between that. But that does factor into the cost of materials and operational costs. But I just wanted to give you all a quick update. And they also have mostly completed the environmental assessment, and so far no issues of concern on the site. And we feel like it's going to be tight, but it does pretty much as we want and desire fit on the site. And at this point in time, as you all know, it is a 2-building situation, 2 separate buildings, for a total of, between the 2 buildings, with both having the second floor, a total of 45,833 square feet at this point in time. So that's a lot of building.
That's a lot.
Plus the potential basement.
Plus potential basement. Yeah.
So
But they realized where we said our budget was, right?
They
Julie.
do, but we keep adding stuff. I mean, we keep
Basements and
putting-
extra
yeah, we keep putting
buildings
stuff
and-
in here.
Yeah.
We'll have to see where the
What
perfect
was the
building.
number? I can't even remember now.
It
What
was
was the number?
5.75 was the start, was what we put in the bid. You know, that's almost a year ago.
Yeah, we're way over that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think we were talking tariffs back then.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll just have to see what everybody's wishes come up to, and then we can decide what we want
Then
to.
we can downsize.
Yeah.
Well, and we talked a little bit, Tom made the point with Rusty earlier about square foot construction prices and we talked a little bit about that this morning, Jason and I did. I think I don't know what it'll be exactly, but I think we need to think along the lines of it being as much as 250 to 280 per square foot. And so that could give you a rough guesstimate of what we're talking about when you do the math of that 45,000 square foot building.
So what all extra have we put in there that were,
Well, it's become two buildings for
Yeah,
one
well, 2
thing.
buildings.
That's
EMS
huge.
wants their own training facilities. That
Well,
wasn't part of the
that's-
plan, their own gym.
no, that's,
Bigger offices, more offices, all kinds of stuff. I mean,
this was part of the,
bigger bays than what we thought, so.
this was
Yeah.
all part of the, when they bid for this is like, yeah, we can do what you're looking for this price. It's like,
Well,
Not if we keep
you
adding.
can't bid
and-
on an unknown.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say we want, if we stick to that 5.75, then Codell's gonna come in and say, this is what you get. This is all you get.
That's what
You
you
know,
do.
and you
Yeah,
have-
and this is part of the process, because you
Right.
go through this exercise where everybody puts in, it's called the program,
Right.
what they think their program should be, all of our people do. And then the architect blocks it out from, based on the feedback they're getting. And that's why we've got to get to the guaranteed maximum price point, which is still we'll only be about 30% of the way into the process
Right.
when we get
Yeah.
that price. And so that's kind of where we are.
Yeah.
And when we get to the point of actually contracting, something that I think is kind of unique, unless you guys remember it differently, I don't think we have ever done an incentive rebate contract, and on one this big, we ought to have that in the contract. You get done by X date within X of the projected cost, and if you're under budget, we reward you.
So we
And
have
that's-
to negotiate a new contract with Codell then.
I
Yeah,
understand,
we might have to do that.
Yeah.
but
I don't know if we can legally do that with taxpayer funds though.
Yeah.
I think you can. It's certainly worth checking out.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about those kind of things, but when you mentioned if we've done this, it's been 25 years, I think, since the county has really done a project of this.
Is that
The
fair?
reason I think you can do it legally is unless the law has changed. It was painful negotiating the state contract years ago because we went through 3 last bidding circumstances one time because of others that had some political pull. And they pushed back, and all of a sudden, whether, I guess I have to question whether it was illegal that was done because of political pull. But we need to check that question out.
Well,
That's all I have.
I guess at this point, we also start talking about, I mean, because to understand, this is double. Not the size, the price is double. And so we might have to scale back our project and say, you know, instead of having everybody out there, we pull back a couple offices and say, sorry, you know, and maybe when we start doing stuff with this, we incorporate some of them into here. So,
I agree.
because, yeah, it's kind of always amazed. It's like, okay, well, we bid a project saying this is the price, this is what we're looking for. You say we can do it, and then you come back with, all right, it's double. You know, and I understand, you know, there's been some EMS stuff that they've wanted, but it's not double,
Right.
you know?
Well, want to, I think, I understand what you're saying.
No,
but it's, we bid for a design build team based on our estimate of a price. This is, you know, but the actual price, the guarantee, when they put it on the line for them, it's when the guaranteed maximum price point is settled on, and that's what's coming.
This is why people, some of the people that bid said you might regret doing this design build instead of the traditional way. So
Well, I think
because
what,
it's going to be more expensive, and here we are.
excuse me.
We don't know if it is gonna be more though. We just don't know how much.
I was
wish we
figuring
did.
measure, so,
Yeah.
but not double.
I think once we tell the people, right now, it's Christmas. They get everything they want, you know. But when we say, okay, here's our budget, and here's what you all have proposed, and we've got to cut it down, I think they'll get back down to the basics.
Right, that's where, I guess I'm just saying that to make sure we all keep reality in mind here.
Right.
Well, the basics might also be the fact of who we actually have in there. This building was designed for EMS and with the opportunity to move the sheriff in there too. But EMS needs this building more than anyone because we have all of our equipment sitting outside. They have to, you know, they can't leave stuff in the vehicles. Their response times are slower because of what they have to do and how they have to maintain things. So, you know, EMS and sheriff, and then if we can add the other stuff, great. But if, you know, that's kind of the basics I'm looking at is those two are kind of the basics. And if that's what we get for, you know, the price, then that's where we go.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and again, just to kind of finish this out a little bit, but as we move through the process and we get the guaranteed maximum price, I would say that I always, with these big projects, I think it's important to look at this as if it were a 50-year project for this community.
Yep.
And so I think you do have to approach this scale of project in that way. And we're trying to do that in the design phase as well, you know, because we know that this community, while it's been slow growth, it's going to continue to grow. And so, and if, you know, because of all the things I think that we've been a big part of this, we're setting the stage for that growth to continue to come years down the road. So I think that's important. But then I think once we get our guaranteed max price, then we go to our bond people and to Shannon, and we see what it takes to finance that over 20 years, 30 years, however we bond it. And then we decide, that's when it comes down to what we can afford to pay based on a 50-year
I think we
project.
You got to scale that back to a 20-year because it's funny. Like
Well,
right
the bonding,
now,
yeah.
Well, no, but I'm sorry about the longevity of this project.
yeah.
We all like right now with the jail, we're like, oh, the jail's 20 years old. You know, it's like, I mean, I don't see this facility lasting 50 years. So the reality is, it's a 20-year. You know, because you don't know. We could grow. We could go down. You know, depending on how things go, or whatever. But you know, and as much as I want EMS and Sheriff's Department to have everything they need, you know, we might have to go back to a single building design, you know. So, yeah.
That's right.
Anyway, thanks for that.
That's all I have.
You good? Okay.
I'm sorry, can I back up one thing?
Sure, yeah.
I do want to say, and I appreciate, I thought we had a really productive meeting yesterday with
I agree.
Yes.
our joint meeting. I wanted to just echo that I thought that went very well, and so appreciate everybody's support and involvement. I know Magistrate Cohen had given a lot of input prior, and as I stated yesterday, he agrees with everything I say. So.
Sadly,
I thought that was
It was
that was a good one.
Rick, seriously?
we were asking questions.
Yeah.
So that's how it was.
well, actually, Jamie and I both.
We did talk about it, so I wasn't lying on on that.
And I've had several meetings with Josh and Tommy
Right.
and Earl about a lot
Yeah,
of
he's
this.
been very involved in the
Yes.
process, so.
And I'm sad we didn't meet on 30th. I did everything I could to make the 30th happen, and sad we didn't meet, but yesterday I had to work.
Right, so yeah, so again, it went well, so
But-
thank you all.
More importantly, it's, you know, it's the county and the city can work well together. We just have to be able to, you know, have projects like this and meaningful projects.
I think it's the first time in my lifetime that I've heard of the city and the county agreeing to go further than, you know, it always seems like the county and the city's at each other's throat, so I think this is really a big change.
Well, I think we got a lot of good things going right
We do.
now. We got Parks and Rec and the solid waste and the burner and all those different things, they're joint projects.
Fundamentally, the city and the county are different forms of government, and that's where we kind of clash, you know? And it's, not everybody understands that, and so it's not always easy to say, yes, we can just go along. But it's also nice that the city, I'm gonna say this in a mean way, is showing, the city seems to show a lot more respect to the county these days. And it might be because of the cooperation, it might be because, you know, the people that are there right now or whatever, but, you know, it's kind of switched and there is a mutual respect among the two, which is nice.
That's good.
Thank you.
Shannon? Steve?
I don't have
You.
Yeah.
I'm working on quarterly reports, hope to have those submitted by Wednesday. And then Finance Committee meeting next Monday. Other than that,
Yeah, okay. Julie?
Couple things. The next bike park meeting is the 20th of October at 9 o'clock at City Hall. The next public safety building meeting is at 10:30 on the 23rd of October. Oh, 10 o'clock, sorry, you're right, thank you. I'm going to try to get Pogue Engineering to a November fiscal court meeting to give us an update on where they are on the cupola and the plans for the courthouse renovation. I think it's time for them to come. I'm waiting on transportation to give us the go-ahead to let the bids for Buster Pike Bridge. I haven't heard anything. Do you know where we are on that?
There, it's kind of going back and forth with legal on some
Okay.
things.
So we're back at railroad and legal?
Yeah,
Okay.
Last thing I heard is
Okay.
that the railroad wants to be completely held harmless on anything that happens out there.
Okay. And they want us to assume liabilities?
Pretty much, yeah. So I think there was kind of a sticking point between
Okay.
that. So even though we had a contract with them signed,
Fred Kane is still just in purgatory, sitting there waiting. We have Rod Deal from JRA's doing the plans. The plans were partially done for the sprinkler, so he called Frankfurt and talked to them to see exactly what they wanted him to do, and he's working on that. So we can't do anything until we get those plans. The final thing is Mike Rogers has approached me about writing an ordinance or some language in our building code or planning and zoning or something to require fences around pools. I think this recent incident has weighed heavily on EMS, and so he and I are going to meet and just kind of talk about what regulations are out there for building code and then where the holes are and how do we enforce it and see if it's something that we want to bring to you to consider.
I'm shocked that that's not already.
I know, yeah.
I thought if your pool is above ground and it's so many feet tall, the sides of the pool become the fence. Yeah.
Wow.
If it's below, there are no regulations, but we could put those in place.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked at that.
Yeah, I talked to
would've just
Rusty, and
thought that
Rusty said
I
we
would
don't-
just have thought
yeah.
that was already in place.
Yeah.
That is not right.
I put a
Yeah.
5-foot.
Well, I
a
looked at the
6-foot
state's
fence around
building
mine.
code reflects the international pool standards, and so Rusty said there are no standards. So
Yeah, that
Mike and I are
definitely.
gonna meet and kind of work on that and see if we want to do that, you know,
Yeah,
something.
absolutely.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I was shocked that if you have a 36-inch pool, I think it's 36, that is the wall. Well, that's no wall. You have a little stair step
The
up
little
there.
stair, yeah.
So we'll be working on that, and as long as you have the interest in us pursuing
Oh,
it,
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do
definitely.
that.
Does the city have it in their code? Wow.
Now, if it's an in-ground pool, there are requirements, but not above. So,
Wow. That's nice. Any more?
All right, that's all I got. I'm going to Owensboro today.
Trilly is at which conference?
NATO.
They don't. Okay, good, good. And have you anything else?
Not that I could hope.
Okay, all right. At Portland, I learned all about, separately, serious dog problems specific to one area, and Magistrate Sleeper and I have talked about that, and we're going to take a look at it because one dog was attacked by 4 or 5.
So if it
And
happens,
that just can't happen. And it's in an area where I'm almost certain it's going to be the same situation we had about 3 years ago. One elderly person does not want to even walk away from her home at this point because she's felt uncomfortable about the dogs, especially since they're now in a pack. So I hope we can get to the bottom of that. Also at Portland, I learned that part of my district, the water flow is significantly low. Debbie called me this morning before I got out the door and reported to me that 2 things. The complaints she's gotten are hilltop homes, and that's tough. But she thinks that and other concerns relate to the drought and the difficulties that they're having with the water flow. So hopefully folks will be patient and we'll be back to a reasonable flow sometime in the near future, since we've gotten one good spurt of rain, but that has not happened yet. On July 7, and at a subsequent fiscal court meeting, you may recall that I reported my grave concerns about anybody on the Battlefield Road, if there were a fire, a heart attack, any kind of an emergency whatsoever, because they will be replacing the bridge. It's a small bridge, but if you can't get past that on Battlefield Road, you cannot travel. I'm very frustrated because it was going to be completed in October. I was actually asked about a pastor from a pastor who lives out in that direction, and the state months ago secured a piece of his property that abuts, and apparently it's because of the width they're putting in, abuts that bridge. I wrote 4 or 5 days ago for an update, and the update is there's another meeting scheduled October 24th. Don't believe they're going to get to their commitment, so I've got to pursue that and see why the additional delay without notification that they had promised. So anyway, that's a frustration in my district. I too wrote down Parks and Rec. I thought that was one of the best meetings that we've had with city government in my tenure. Just a reminder that we're now within less than a month of Veterans Day. Our church recruits 3 or 4 meetings in a row before Veterans Day to make sure that people are aware of what is done every year and how we support it. So please make sure the word is out to all the veterans. And that's one of the reasons I made my mention yesterday in the meeting, in the overall sense of how we honor our veterans. Our 2 festivals, Perryville and Portland, just extraordinary this year. Just thrilled with it, and those of you who showed up, thank you very much. I think I've said enough of what you and I talked about before the meeting about the fire department in Junction. I do want to make the comment again about special taxing districts, because unfortunately that was not covered in the newspaper, and hopefully they will cover it this time, that not only do we not have tax intervention at a certain point where it's approved by the state and we could hold them up afterward, but on issues like what we have in Junction City with the fire department right now, we have 0 opportunities other than just informal discussions. The Intercounty is hosting once again a come and greet and meet and talk with. We're on the eve of our next Kentucky General Assembly, and Amanda and Daniel will be there Friday morning at 9 o'clock. And it was put in the context on the radio this morning that all officials are welcome and the public at large. So I certainly plan to be there. Any word on what restaurants and what timetables, since Barry's not here? Am I correct that one of the steakhouses has committed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse.
and another one of the sandwich shops.
Qdoba has their sign up.
Qdoba.
Right next to Penn Station, but they're not open yet.
Oh, okay, all right. And just a reminder that what's the date on getting our physicals, 31st?
December 31st.
Oh, December 31st, okay, all right. Everybody make sure you respond to that because it involves money, so. Any other thoughts,
What
questions?
type, I mean, do we just have a copy of it, or what do we need?
We don't have, when you have it done, insurance, the code, insurance tracks it, and then they notify
Okay, so if I've had mine within
you.
this calendar year, or
The
this?
count from January to December,
Okay,
so
all right.
anytime.
Well, now, are you talking about some other type of physical?
No.
Okay, all right, good. Any other thoughts, questions?
The benefits thing, do you have to go to that, the benefits and sign, or can you just keep the same and not do anything?
With American Fidelity, I think you can just keep the same,
Okay,
and if you don't have any changes, you
okay.
don't have to go.
Okay. Any other thoughts? I'll entertain a motion
Yeah,
to adjourn.
I'd like to move that we adjourn today in memory of City Commissioner Rick Series. Rick, as we all know, served as a city commissioner on 2 separate occasions and was a long-time active member of Parks and Rec in this community. And I think in a lot of ways his spirit was there yesterday with us, because he's long wanted for city and county to work well together. And so I feel like that was in some ways kind of a neat thing that Rick was sitting on our shoulders yesterday during that meeting. Longtime friend, longtime running buddy, and of course he started the Wilderness Trace running series that bears his last name, that he was such an inspiration to a lot of people in the running community, because a lot of times in his earlier years he would run the race, and he would run it fast enough that he would then be greeting everybody at the finish line, waiting for them to come across and working the finish line. But just a good person and great community business owner that did a lot for the community. And I always appreciated the fact that he would attend our meetings on a regular basis, representing himself as much as anything. So I do think it's important that we adjourn in Rick's honor, and prayers for his family as they deal with that loss, and for all of his friends as well throughout the community. So
I'm recalling many years back when we were looking at the road diet, which is an interesting term, but it was when the idea of having bike lanes was first generated. And there was a tremendous amount of controversy about it. And Rick, though he was in the business of bicycles, helped me in testimony before Danville City Government by bringing up the concept of dooring. And that simply meant that if bike lanes were misplaced in any city street where it's tight, and the person was parking and not paying attention, they could knock somebody into traffic and cause severe injury or even death, which had happened around the country. And I was very gratified that he stepped out of his profession and realized that there was a potential for something doing harm, and we've never had an incident. So that too came to mind. And before I accept that as a formal motion, I'll read.
We don't have a second.
I'll second.
We don't have a second.
Oh, well, okay, I guess, yeah, we've all talked to it, so, yes, I got the second was Magistrate Sleeper, motion by Magistrate Gay. In memoriam, the Boyle County Fiscal Court extends deepest sympathies to you in the passing of your husband, Honorable Richard Rick Series. The court adjourned in tribute and reverence to his memory at the meeting held on October 14, 2025. So that will be certainly entered into the record along with a letter going to his spouse. So,
Thank you.
any further questions, comments about Rick?
Motion we adjourn. Make a motion we adjourn.
We had a first and a second, did we?
That was the adjourned motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually it.
Second.
Yeah, he made it as that. All right, any other discussion?
That's it.
All right, I'll entertain the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? Thank you for your forbearance as I limped through.